In this video, I'll be talking about random number generation. In my last video, I have talked about simulation, and in simulation, we want to do a numerical experiment to understand a real situation. And so for that, we need a lot of data, and that random data we generated through the random number generation for doing the experimental purpose. So now in this video, I'll be going through the terminology of random numbers, what are true random numbers or true random number generations, how do we generate them, what is pseudo-random numbers or what is pseudo-random number generations, that is called the PRNG, and at the end of this video I'll be talking about mid-square algorithm. So mid-square algorithm is used to generate the random number. And then what are the drawback of this algorithms and how we can proceed for the other algorithms to have a better result. So let's start now from the random number. So before going to the terminologies of random number, let's first understand what is the use of random number. So the random numbers are used in science and technology. In a lot of computers programming, we require random numbers. Even in maths, for doing some of the experiment in numerical techniques, we require random numbers. In art, in gaming, gambling, cryptography is one of the very important field in which random numbers are required. In cryptography, random numbers plays very important role because it addresses to the security issues of our system. So since we are these days using lot of internet, bank transactions, everything we are doing through virtual platform. So it is important to ensure the security of our system, and to ensure the security, we need to generate various algorithms which are based on the random numbers. And so it is used in the various other field. Now let's look at what is the random number. A random number is a number generated by a process whose outcome is unpredictable, which cannot be subsequently reliably reproduced. So that means we are doing a random number, and based on that we say that the number that we have generated is quite a secure. So for example, the number of customer arriving in a bank daily is a random number. So in a practical situation, we do not know how many people or the customer will arrive in a bank. And in another example, suppose we want to understand the traffic flow on a particular road. And for that, we can have a simulation on our computer, and to do that simulation or to do that numerical computation, we require to have a random numbers. But the number generated on the experimentation on the virtual platform while we apply the simulation on the computer, is that number is really true or not? That's a question, because that's not a true random number. We generate the random number by certain algorithms. So they are not truly random in nature, because true random is something which you really get it from the real data. So for example, we actually sit down and we note down how many customers arrived in the bank daily, and we have to repeat this experiment over a period of time. So for example, maybe over a 6 months of time, or maybe because if the experiment is small, so for example, if you're doing only for a 1 month, it may not give you a true picture of what would be the traffic flow or what would be the incoming arrival of the customer in that bank. So how many people you need to deploy at the customer service. So in real world, we do have a true random number, but while we apply the simulation based on certain algorithm, we talk about pseudo random numbers. For true random number, we have following random number generation, or we say the physical methods. Say for example, we throw a dice, use digits of pi, because we do not know what would be the long digits of pi. So for that, we keep on calculating, and this is truly a randomness. We use the counting gamma ray, or we use some mechanical device such as spinning disk. But these experimentation would take lot of time and lot of effort. So instead of the true random number, we generate pseudo random numbers in the computer algorithms or while doing the simulation. So the second question is, how do we generate the pseudo random numbers? And as a pseudo random number, the name suggests pseudo, which is not true, but it is near to true. So there are various algorithms that are coming from mathematical background, and we apply those algorithms to find out the random number. And now since we know that pseudo random numbers are generated through the computer algorithms, so there are some important points that we need to keep in mind while using those algorithms. So the first thing is that it should be fast. It should be portable to different computers and programming software. They have a sufficient long cycle. I will come up with an example where I explain what do I mean by long cycle of generating the random numbers. They should be replicable to the real situation and use identical stream of random numbers for different system or parallel computing. It should be uniformity. So it should not be the bias towards some digits. and it should be independent of the variables or the assumptions that we have considered. It should not give a biased result. There are many techniques to generate pseudo random numbers technique, and in this particular video I'll be talking about mid-square algorithm, and then in my next video I'll be talking about linear congruential generator. So let's look at what is mid-square algorithm. Mid-square method algorithm, this was given by John Newman and Metropolis in 1940. So in mid-square method, let's look at the algorithm. We first consider an integer that we call it as seed. So for example, we consider a 2-digit number as a seed, or we may also consider the 4-digit number as a seed. So it depends upon the efficiency of our computer, how do we want to take the seed, and based on that we want to run our algorithm. Second step says square it and pick the middle 2-digit, because here in the initially our seed is 2. So we have to keep we want to repeat the experiment since our seed was 2 digits. So I have to consider again next seed. So this would consider as next seed of 2-digit and discard the rest. Now square it again and select the middle of 2-digit and repeat the process. Let's see this in an example. Now here this is the first example in which I have performed the mid-square method. For example, we want to generate the random number. So this is the first step, and in this first step I have considered 11 as a seed digit. You see that this is, I am considering here this for 2-digit. So 2 digits that I have selected are 11. Square these 2 digits, we got 0, 1, 21. So when you square this 2-digit, that you may get a 4-digit or you may get a 3-digit. If you get 3-digit, attach a 0 to the left side. So this will become 0, 1, 2, so that you have a 4-digit. And in this, discard the first and the last digit and keep the middle digits here, that is 12, and keep this as the next seed. So now again square the 12, you will get 144, attach a 0 so that you get 4-digit, discard the first and the last digit, write the middle digits, that is 14. This would become the third seed, 14 square, this will give you 196, attach a 0, discard 0 and 6, you get 19. This is the next digit, this is the next seed, 19 square will give you 361, attach a 0, discard the first and the last digit, you get 36. 36 square is 1296. So you get now there are 4 digits and we don't have a 0. We don't have to add a 0 because already there are 4 digits. So discard the first and 6. So you get 29. So this way, these are the random number that we are generating. And now if you extend this experiment beyond the 5 iteration, you see that till here I have already done. 29 is the next seed, square it, we got 841. So we again have to attach a 0 to this because the square of 29 square, this is 841. So attaching a 0, discard it, we get 84. Square it, 84, you get 7056. So you see that middle digits are 05. And if you continue, now looking at this continuing process, you see that we got a 00. So this is why it's going to terminate after a finite stage. So this is not truly a random number, because in a real situation, we are not going to have this situation. So now this is one of the drawback of the mid-square method, that after a stage, it terminates. In this second example, let me to consider now the seed of 4 digits. So the first seed is 7182. So you see that this is the first seed. Square this seed, this one. So when you square a 4 digit, so you see that if you square a 4 digit, either you get 8-digit number, or we may get a 7-digit number. If it is 8-digit, it is fine. Chop the 2 left digit and the 2 right digit, we get the middle digit. Say for example, in this case, I have to chop 5 and 1, 2 left and 2 right digit. I get the middle digit 5811. In case this is 7-digit, attach a 0 to this. So for example, when I continue this experiment till here, the next seed is 3156. So here this is 7 digits. So I have to attach a 0. Attaching a 0, chop these two and these two. I get the middle as 9603 and repeat the experimentation. But again you see that after a stage it terminates. There are some trivial examples for this cycling process which happens in the mid-square method. And for that let me to consider the first seed. In the first example, seed as 50. So if you consider the seed as 50, this will become 50 square, which is 2500. And again, if you look at the next seed would be the middle two digit. So this will again be 50 square, which is again giving me 2500. So this process is called cycling. In another example, you may consider seed as 60. So if you consider 60 square, this will give me 3600. And if you chop off these two, you can see the middle digits are 60. So this process is called cycling. So sometime it is important, how do you choose a seed? So if your selection of seed is also not random, these numbers are not truly pseudo random number. Another random number generation algorithm is linear congruential generator. And in my next video, I'll be talking about this.